This video will show you how to prepare a classification sheet for import into NVivo and how to complete the import. In the Fundamentals course, we covered how to create case classification types and their attributes within NVivo, and how to assign the values of the attributes to cases. Earlier in this course, you were also introduced to file classifications and when these might be used. If you have a large number of attributes for your cases, you may want to prepare this information in a spreadsheet first, or you may already have this information in an Excel file or SPSS file, so you do not want to duplicate the work that has already been done. In either scenario, you can import the data directly into NVivo as a classification sheet. First, you need to make sure that your data is prepared correctly for import. The content of the first cell of the first row, that's cell A1, of your spreadsheet will upon import become the name of the case or file classification. In this example, it is person. The remaining cells in the first row hold what will become the name of attributes. You don't need to create them in advance in NVivo, but if you have, they should be spelled exactly the same. Try to keep your column headers clear, simple, and meaningful so that you can easily identify your variables as you work with them in NVivo. The first column has the names of the cases or the files. If they have already been created in NVivo, they need to be spelled exactly the same way. You must always ensure that you both save and close the file you are working in. You will receive an error message anytime you attempt to import an open file into an NVivo project. To import a classification sheet, go to the Classifications area on the Import ribbon and click Classification Sheet if you are working with the data in a text or Excel format, or SPSS if you are working with data in an SPSS format. Browse to the location of the file, open it, and then click Next. In step 2, you need to tell NVivo whether this is a file classification sheet or a case classification sheet. In this example, we are working with a case classification sheet. I will leave all 3 boxes ticked here to create any new attributes which do not already exist in the project, to update the classification of existing cases, and to replace existing attribute values. Now I can click Next. In step 3 of the wizard, I choose As Names in order to specify where our existing case nodes are stored. I clicked the Select button and navigate to the People folder. Under the Cases folder, I click OK. I leave the box ticked next to the option to create new nodes if they do not exist, and then click Next to go to step 4. I'm going to accept the default data formats here and click Finish. Now you can see all the added attributes in the case classification sheet, and I can also check each case to see the assigned attribute values by going to the Case Classification area in Navigation View. I can select the Person folder, and by ticking the plus next to each of my cases, I will see the attribute values assigned by the case classification import.